Emotions kill faster than cigarettes. Let that sink in. Chronic anger, uncontrolled stress, relentless anxiety. These don't just shape your mood, they actually shape your biology. And every unregulated emotion is actually accelerating your aging. Yep. So your blood vessels actually stiffen, your immune system weakens, your brain shrinks because it doesn't form new neural connections, actually trying to protect you. So you can eat well, exercise daily, get your 7 to 9 hours sleep, but if you do not regulate your emotions, you're still aging faster than you should. Welcome, I'm Heike Fallon. I'm a personal performance coach, a neurosports therapist, and a Z House practitioner, and the creator of the NeuroHP method. So over 30 years, I've worked with leaders, entrepreneurs, just high achievers who want to extend their health span, optimizing their performance, and actually live with more joy. Here's what I've learned about emotional regulation. It isn't just about feeling better, but it's about living longer. So let's start with the science. An emotion is not just a feeling, it's a full body event. When you feel anger, your hypothalamus fires and your adrenal glands release cortisol. So your heart starts racing, your muscles tense up. And for example, when you feel fear, the amygdala is very much involved. It lights up, your prefrontal cortex goes offline, which means you can't really think straight anymore. And your body basically gets ready for battle because your brain recognizes it as a threat, and that's fight or flight, right? So this is adaptive, and when the threat is short-lived, it's no problem. But when those threats prolong, so because it's, emails, deadlines, arguments, even traffic jams, living in LA, and those, don't last just a few seconds, but actually can last for hours, days, sometimes even years. People are under that, emotional stress for years, and that means your body is constantly flooded with stress chemicals over and over again. So all the, cortisol is not necessarily bad, but if it's constantly there, it's a problem. So it's called really chronic dysregulation. And chronic dysregulation also shortens the telomeres, which are the cap ends of the DNA. And shorter telomeres actually have shown is a shorter lifespan. So it really affects your longevity. This is why, emotional regulation isn't optional really. It's a biological necessity. So let's go deeper into the brain function. The brain decides if there's a threat or not. That's its job, right? And the amygdala plays a big role in this. Information comes into the brain, and that comes from, inside your body as well as your environment. And the insular cortex plays a role here, and it reads those, other body parts, brain parts are involved in this too, but all this information gets integrated by the brain and matched with past memories, and then those emotions get integrated in it as well, and that gives us an output. And the output also involves quite a bit the prefrontal cortex because it makes decision and it gives us the output. It could be fear, anxiety, like I said, tense, or whatever it might be for you, blood pressure. List is long what the output can be, but under stress, your prefrontal cortex definitely does not work very well. And that's why you might be overreactive. You might say things that you regret, or you can't even think clearly, you can't focus. And it's really not weakness, it's actually a wiring problem. So neuroplasticity means also that wiring can change. Every time you practice regulation, you strengthen your prefrontal cortex, you calm your amygdala, and you train resilience. And hey, that's important for longevity, right? So think it as strength training for your brain. And just like strength training, right? Muscle strength training, it's important, it compounds over time, so you need to do it regularly, and it doesn't happen overnight. But if you keep emotions run unchecked completely, chronic anger raises your blood pressure, damages arteries, and heart diseases are you're definitely going to be more prone to those. Chronic stress weakens your immune system, also shown to be, more prone to tumor growth, and it disrupts mainly your gut health too, and your gut talks to your brain, so that's super important. Chronic anxiety also shrinks your hippocampus, and that's a big part of memory in your brain as well. So the key is emotional volatility lowers your heart rate variability, a key marker for resilience and longevity. So poor regulation leads to unhealthy coping, overeating, drinking, scrolling, avoiding, procrastination. And this is why it's so important to, really understand that unregulated emotions don't just make you unhappy, they make you actually sick. It's unhealthy, and you will age faster. Here's the good news. Regulation is trainable, and you got to train it daily. So one big part is, number one is breathing. Breathing helps regulating, especially longer. Exhaling stimulates the vagus nerve really well, and that's a very important part for calming the nervous system down. I did a whole extra video just on the vagus nerve, so check that out. Second is the interoceptive awareness. That's how we feel our body signals, like heartbeat, our rate of breathing, how tense we feel. So awareness is the first step to get things in control, because you want to feel when you feel stressed or angry or anxious. The third one is the reframing. So your thoughts really shape your biology. So studies have shown actually reframing stress reduces amygdala activation. So it's not just psychology, it's actually whole neuroscience, and everything is interconnected. So reframing, super important. 4 is movement, brain-based drills, eye exercises, vestibular drills, so your inner ear, that train also your balance, help regulate your nervous system. So if you have not integrated vision and vestibular work into your workouts, today is a good day to get started. So brain-based training means really intentionally activating or inhibiting specific brain regions. And again, eyes and vestibular system play a key role, and it helps really improve overall brain regulations. 5, I can't stress it enough, me time, self-compassion. So harsh self-talk triggers stress. So depending on how you talk to yourself, it can impact your nervous system. So the calmer and nicer you are to yourself, the more calm you are. So regulation isn't about suppressing, but it's about training. And when you train it, that's when you really gain a big jump on longevity. So here's what matters most: daily practice. Every small trigger is a training opportunity. Yep. So if you're in a traffic jam and, sit somewhere in the massive traffic, practice slow breathing. Difficult emails, pause for a second. Let your system first calm down, then reframe, and then respond. If you have any other conflict with friends or family members, do a grounding exercise first before you engage. So longevity isn't built like all of a sudden with like the breakthroughs. It's about the micro moments. Doing something regularly every day really helps to protect your brain, your heart, and your DNA. So let's wrap this up. Longevity isn't only about food and exercise. It's about feelings and emotions as well, and how well you actually regulate those feelings, right? So when you regulate emotion, it lowers inflammation, it protects your heart, it preserves your brain, and extends your health span. So here's my challenge for you today, that every emotional trigger that you realize, use them as a training opportunity. So here is my challenge for you today. Starting today, treat every emotional trigger as a training opportunity. Check in, be aware of it, and then when you notice it, first calm down, look at it as a training opportunity, and then react. Because the real secret to longevity is, again, not about the diets, the workout, it's about the ability to regulate your emotions. I'm Heike Fallon, and feel free to share this video with anyone that you think might benefit from this knowledge and is ready to transform their lives. Until next time.